Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Or if you're new here, welcome to another edition of Kingly Conversations, man. And we got a hot one for you today. But before we get into all of that, you know what time it is, man. Zoe's got some shout-outs.
Actually, I do. Good morning. I would like to thank all of the listeners, those ones who haven't vocalized how great this show is. And you're right. That's all I got to say.
Okay. And this week, we're going to be talking about Father's Day. So strap in. Let the Kings talk about it. All right, good people. Hey, welcome back to another edition of Kingly Conversations, man. And it's like, you know, as I am every single week, hey, you know who it is, man. It is Alan.
Hello, my name is Afonso Twine, and I'm here to talk.
What? It's your praying your mentor, Calvin D. Hill. What?
All right, Calvin. So,
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and the men with kids and the baby daddies and all of us. Happy Father's Day.
All the men's is, but it ain't Father's Day today.
It ain't Father's Day today. Why? Happy Father's Day anyway. Look, I know it ain't Father's Day now, but that is one of the most underrated so-called, it ain't in the holiday. It's just a day of recognition. What do y'all call that? It's not a holiday. It's a.
I call it a day.
A day. It's just a day.
I mean, here's the thing, and I have, unlike maybe some people, I've always attempted to, to acknowledge my father on Father's Day. Sometimes I show up in his city because we don't live in the same, we don't even live in the same state. So sometimes I show up. I used to show up unannounced, but you know, sometimes it's not always a good idea to show up unannounced because you show up unannounced and they will have announced that they're not even there. So then I started saying, hey, y'all gonna be in town this weekend because I might come down. The other reason I like to show up unannounced is if something came up where I couldn't drive down to where he lives, I didn't want him to have an expectation that I was going to be there and then me fall short on that expectation. So I didn't want to disappoint him unintentionally, being glad that I was coming down and then all of a sudden, something happened, water pipe burst in the house or whatever the case, and now I can't get down there. So that was the original reason. Also at the time that I started, making this kind of a tradition, I was definitely a lot broker than I am today.
A lot broker?
A lot broker than I am today. And so sometimes, when I used to drive a gas car, because I had premium fuel, it might have been $200 to go down. So, I wasn't. That was the other reason why I was a spontaneous. Let me just hop on down here. Nah, it don't even matter. But didn't matter. But I know a lot of people don't do nothing for their daddies, their deities.
I mean, but okay. So do you feel, in your opinion, like Father's Day is recognized, or fathers in general are appreciated and recognized the way they should be?
So here's the problem, and this is generally the problem I think that we're going to. Yeah,
no.
But see, but y'all, I would say fathers that are beloved are. Fathers that are tolerated are not.
Well, look,
we need to get into that.
I'll tell you what.
Now, no one wants to be known as a father that's tolerated because they don't feel like that's who they are. Nobody feels like they are how other people see them.
Man, I'll tell you what.
I don't think so. But all right, let's get into it.
What are you talking about? Because I'm about to go. I'm about to snap. I'm about to pop.
Yeah,
I'm about to pop. I'm about to pop.
Fathers
I'm about to pop.
tolerated. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go first.
Due to the time constraint, I am not going to pop, but I will say this. Just like any other day that is celebrating a significant other or a person, like Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, holidays like that, to me, are redundant. Only because if you not showing the love and appreciation on these other days and you waiting for this one specific day to say, hey, I appreciate you. You trash, man. Let's just talk about it.
Mm, mm.
You
Well, I mean,
trash.
that
Anyway,
would be true.
Okay.
That would be
Yep.
true
Okay.
anyway. That would be true
Okay.
anyway.
But overall, Father's Day isn't marketed the same way, or isn't
Well,
advertised the same way that
well,
Mother's
because
Day
men
or
ain't
any
gonna
other
spend
day.
that money like
But
the women
Father's
do.
Day also came second. Father's Day was it's kind of like Father's Day is kind of like the All Lives Matter of Black Lives Matter protest. It was
wow.
created because Mother's Day was there and Father was like, I don't like, we ain't got no day. So then they created Father's Day. It
But
wasn't.
should that
It was
not
an
be-
afterthought already. We don't know that.
Okay.
I looked it up.
Okay.
I looked it up after you mentioned you wanted to talk about it. Father's Day was created after Mother's Day was, but it was in 1913 or 1910 or something like that. So it's not like we would know and remember that because they don't teach it. But Father's Day was created as a direct response to Mother's Day.
Okay, because fathers felt left out.
Yes. Yes,
Because fathers felt unappreciated.
that is correct. Although I will say it was created at a time when women couldn't vote and women couldn't do anything other than be mothers.
So at
But
that
they had
time,
a
was
day of
really not
recognition.
showing
That-
any kind
well,
of.
they didn't have anything before that.
Nah, bro, they couldn't even vote at this point, bro.
So we can't
was like-
say they had a
But
day
this
of
ain't-
recognition.
hold on.
We recognize them.
Hold on.
Like,
This ain't
they
got
said,
nothing to
well,
do
we're not
with
gonna
being-
let you vote, but we gonna give you a day on the calendar though.
Yeah, but this ain't got nothing to do with the political game and all that. This is just
Oh no, it
a bottom
always
line.
does.
It
always does.
Appreciation for fathers.
I don't
or
think-
no. Like
I don't think you
they
realize
beloved
how
or untolerated.
I don't think you realize how political everything is. The only reason we had prohibition was because wives wanted their husbands home, so they lobbied the government to create prohibition. And then they were getting beat at home because the husband couldn't drink. So then they said, "No, we need to repeal prohibition." So all of this stuff is political. You saying like it ain't political? No, it's all political. You in the United States, bro? I don't know where you thought you lived. I don't know where you thought you lived.
So the appreciation or
Wait a
lack of
minute.
appreciation of fathers, the lack of
So-
appreciation for fathers, is a political move.
It is everything that you see is designed for you to believe a certain thing, right? And so we can say that fathers are not appreciated. I would say that's true, but I would also say that
Right, so-
who is appreciated? Just because you got a day on the calendar don't mean you appreciate it. Just means you got a
Okay.
day on the calendar.
Right.
But the day was created because they weren't feeling appreciated.
Okay, right. So that's what I'm saying. Do you, in general, the question was, do you feel like fathers?
Nope.
All right. So both of y'all say no, that fathers aren't appreciated.
They aren't appreciated to the degree that mothers are. Father, I think that for the most part, children take their parents for granted. Whether that's father, mother, I think they take their parents for granted. Period. Matter of fact, me and Janine were having this conversation yesterday. That
They sure do.
that they take.
They sure do.
Here's the thing, though. Be careful, because everybody that's a parent was once a
not all
child
of them.
that was not appreciating their parents. So it's a vicious cycle. It's like you didn't appreciate them, your kids don't appreciate you, their kids ain't gonna appreciate them either, and that's just the way it is. Unless you teach them differently.
What?
Yeah, but okay. So that's like
So it's my.
a
So
big
what you're
point.
saying is my fault.
Hey,
Yeah, well, think about
hey,
it like
listen.
this. It's just like you said. If you were never shown, and this is what I think the biggest issue is.
Yep.
If you were never shown properly how to appreciate a father, you don't know what to expect as a father.
Right.
All right. So if my father never saw his father in his life, he don't know how that dynamic or that relationship is supposed to look. He got to go off the opinion of his mom. Just like the baby mama say, "Oh, your daddy ain't nothing. He trash." Okay, you poisoning the kid against the father, and the father has no say. The father, some fathers are actually trying to be in kids' life and trying to do, but the baby mamas or whatever the situation is, is so toxic towards the father that it spills over to the kid. So the kid never gets an opportunity to see that relationship. Now, going to our level, if we have kids, we have to set a tone for, okay, we can at least say, talk, do, demonstrate. All right, my parents' relationship ain't the best, but I still appreciate what they did give me. That's how that starts. You start it somewhere. You just can't let it keep going.
Well,
that's what most people do. Most people do.
You're saying you can't let it keep going as though most people are self-reflective at all, or even reflective. They just out here living. They ain't thinking about nothing. They're not evaluating. They're not thinking. They're not doing nothing.
Right. And that's why I'm saying it's important as a father. That's why I teach my own sons. Okay, even though me and my father don't have the best of relationships, I try on my end with the hopes of not that relationship get better, that it shows up in my relationship with my own kids. That relationship, it's done. It is what it is. Ain't no going back. But I can still set an example of, okay, on our level and going forward, we can change the dynamic of the relationships. So that way, when you have a kid, you say, oh, okay, now it makes sense what my dad was saying here. So I want my kids to have a relationship with me when they get older, yada, 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 and we go forward from there. So, and it's not easy. It's not easy.
In theory, that sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely.
In theory. In a perfect world, that sounds great.
It does.
But let's be real. Yes. All that you just said is going through one ear out the other, because ain't nobody trying to hear none of that. Cause you not the mama.
Some kids.
Okay,
no.
that part. No.
Not the mama.
Most fathers don't have that nurturing
most of them
they
don't.
Need to build that relationship. Some of them just hardcore. Hey, you do what I
but
say,
also because you know part of that problem is
silver hammer.
You know part of that problem is everybody been taught, all these men out here, all these men's is out here been taught that being nurturing is homosexual, and so they like I got to be hard.
Yeah, no.
Now in the newer generations, that's not as true. But I'm talking about when we grew up and before that, you couldn't be nurturing.
Overcooked,
you could
overcooked steak, bro. Tough.
Because the role was to be authority figure, be the laws in the house, stuff like that. That was the example of that was being a provider and a disciplinary.
And who set that example for us?
Okay, and that's where you get into that culture of black being slaves, being divided.
I didn't say that, Calvin. I didn't say anything.
I said it because black families were taught not to respect their fathers anyway. If anything, black families were told to.
You mean there was a thing called butt breaking?
Yeah, and in front of the whole community, and run the black man down in front of his family, so they don't respect them. And that tradition.
You mean there's generational trauma?
That tradition.
That ain't got nothing to do with it, bro.
Relax. That tradition
that ain't got
kept going through the years.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but culturally, I think Father's Day has always been on the back burner, like we discussed in the beginning, to where the only reason why Father's Day was created, because dudes like, but what about us?
Yep.
All right.
A day of recognition that they probably did not deserve, but they still got it, especially in that time and era. Like from the modernized way of doing things now versus how they were doing things back in the day. Because back in the day, I assumed that the man was always right, and you had to do what he said because his word was law. When other people, children, women, and people under the male figure, they really didn't have a relationship to where they would want to celebrate the father, because he was one tough cookie. He was out here and he was being a man.
He was being a man, and that part. But like I said, a lot of that was miseducation. We weren't taught.
Shout out to Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, we weren't taught that. We weren't taught how to be good fathers. And for most men don't have, honestly, most men definition of being a father is I go to work, I pay the bill, I'm in the house.
Yeah.
And you're lucky you get that.
No joke. That's it.
Because I could be out here in these streets.
Right, but I work 120 hours a week, and I make sure all the bills paid. And you better respect me because I'm out here working for these people to make sure the lights. That's the only definition of fathers we had. The bad part about that concept is if you couldn't meet the standard of working at a job, you weren't a father. That's not the way that goes.
Well, then I wasn't a father for.
Right, but so flip that back to what the era y'all keep trying to go to. How many black men could provide that kind of lifestyle for their kids?
Well, there was a few.
Exactly, not most of them. So then, if you use that as the standard of defining what a father is, most of them couldn't be the father. So then you recreated the tradition of, oh, he ain't a real man.
Well, I tell you what, stop rocking with these toxic women, bro. What are we talking about, man? You toxic. You out here being toxic.
Thing, man. Toxic. Huh? So what's a father to y'all, man? Give me that.
I feel like that's the secret word of the day. Toxic.
Toxic.
What's a father?
Yeah, what's a father?
What is a father? I'm gonna Google it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. No, man.
GTS, bro.
No, man. No, see, everybody trying to Google something in your own words, your own definition. To you, what's a father?
Go ahead, Colin. Go ahead, Alan.
To me,
what is your idea? What is your idea of a father? Is what you're asking?
To me, a father is any man who has children. I just take it from and those children don't necessarily have to be his. Like he could be a foster parent, could be an adoptive parent, could be a biological parent. But to me, a parent is a father. Whether even if their children are no longer alive, that person to me is still a father. So their father is somebody, or were a father to somebody. So to me, that's a father. I just that's always been my definition. I'm sure somebody else has another one, but.
Yeah, I heard a lot of things. Sperm donor, the guy who fought.
And Zoe just dropped off. There he is. He's back.
You asked
the guy who what? You blacked out altogether. You blacked out altogether.
Whoa. You can you hear me?
I can hear. We can hear you now, but you blacked out for like 3 seconds.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
But I think we get the
blacked out again.
We get the point. All right, so to me, a father to me is a source
of what?
A source of a lot, a source of life, a source of motivation, a source of emotional stability, a source of finance in some aspects, a source of wisdom, a real source of love. That to me, that's what a father is to me.
Nah.
So what? So what about all these people out here with kids that don't have those attributes? What you call them?
Go ahead,
I don't call them fathers because some have. No, I don't tread lightly with this one. Most of them not fathers. They might be a dad, but they're not a father.
And see that right there is, I guess, a difference. I don't differentiate between those two words.
I know people do, because to me, the source, the time it takes to be a father to somebody, and like you said, it doesn't have to be a biological father. You can be a stepfather. You can be, to me, coaches are like fathers. Somebody that's that source, like I said, a source of where you get wisdom from, a source where you get maybe financial stability from, a source of encouragement, a source of love, different sources, because that's what fathers do. They produce and give out. Fathers give. Fathers
buy a book.
Huh?
Buy a book. Everything you just said, you can get from a book.
I'm sorry, I can't get some things from a book.
Learn how to read,
I can't
youngins.
I can't get some stuff from a book. Some stuff I need a father in my life, and that's
I
part of the
understand.
issue. So
I
some
understand.
people need to have. You have to have, just like you need a mother, you need a father to be here.
Well, there's a balance, man. It's supposed to be a balance between the two. But that balance doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be equal. But
It
it
don't.
is. It
It
is what
don't.
it is.
It don't. But you still, at some level, we need to teach and learn how to appreciate that source or that part of our existence by appreciating the father.
What does equal mean?
Oh Lord.
That's you. That's you, Zoe.
That's what I'm asking. Like, what is equal? Because this is the reason why I asked this question. Because I people I just always want to know, like, well, what does equal mean to you as it relates to that? Because I'm just wondering.
Well, I just believe that sometimes when it comes to parenting, when you're dealing with somebody that you're not equal with or equally yoked with, or y'all don't see eye to eye, but y'all still laid down and created, procreated, whatever you want to call it. It's not, there's not a balance in that, because there's no understanding of the roles that each one should be playing. Some in some cases, you got women who want to be the man and the woman. You do what I tell you to do. And you got some, and vice versa. You got some men out here that wants to be a complete control, and you're just going to do what I tell you to do. So when it comes to parenting, some don't have a voice in doing so, and not looked at as equal.
I see.
Is what I'm saying. As far as what was you said? What is
What is equal?
What is equal? Because you had said equal, and I was like, what is equal? Because
I mean, it just depends on who you're dealing with, man. That's what it boils down to. Because some people don't some people don't. I'm sorry. I
thought you froze up.
My brain did.
Because you just thought, like, some people you weren't moving at all. I'm like, wait a minute. Did he freeze? But
that's what I do to people that I don't want to talk to. I'll be like,
this the reason,
and then just hang up.
The reason I asked that question is I think I just wanted to make sure that we were understanding, what you were saying fully, because sometimes we say stuff and it can be thought to mean one thing, and this is what I actually meant. So I was like, we mean equal.
So after my I guess perspective, did I answer your question?
Yeah,
I just want to make sure I answer your question.
Yep,
okay,
question.
all right, bet.
Because I was thinking something totally different than what you were saying.
So what was you thinking then?
Because because a lot of times people say equal, I'm like, well, what is equal in a parenting relationship? But that wasn't what you were saying in terms of, because so sometimes what I find that people do is they'll want to be co-equals as far as parenting in a relationship. But are we spending equal time? Are we devoting equal? Because sometimes there are a ton of people that, like, one parent will take the kids to all of their, whether it's soccer events, and the other parent ain't even there, but then they want to be seen as equal. Well, the kids ain't gonna see you as equal because they don't see you as much.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different ball game. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so that's where my mind went, but that's not where you were going. So that's why I just wanted that clarification.
Okay, so that's two sides of that coin, bro. Look what you said and what I said. I'm pretty sure there's other sides.
There's always about sides. I've just started asking clarifying questions because I find as I get older, I just want to make sure that, like, if somebody asks me a question, I want to make sure I'm answering the question that they asked me and not answering what I think they were asking me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you, sir, for keeping me on my toes. I appreciate you. Now back to these deadbeats.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Back to these fathers. Sorry.
What's a deadbeat? What's a deadbeat?
I hear about it a lot. I don't know.
I hear about it. I hear about it. No, it ain't in the notes. but you use the term deadbeat. What's a deadbeat?
Well,
What defines a deadbeat?
a deadbeat would probably mean, and now this is not Google, but it's about to be. Let's see
Ooh,
what
that
deadbeat
keyboard
is.
loud.
I just got heavy fingers, bro. Oh, that all it is? Okay, well, in general, it says a deadbeat is a derogatory term for someone who avoids paying debt or financial obligations. It also says that it can.
So they ain't got nothing to do with. They ain't got nothing to do with being a parent.
It could also refer to someone who is lazy, avoids work, and neglects responsibilities. So it ties in. It ties in, but that's not
Tell me
the.
how that tie in.
Huh?
How that tie in?
Oh, now you being funny. All right, let's do it. I don't know, Calvin. How's it tie in?
How tie in?
I mean,
Because
some people
especially
might say that.
that last word, responsibility. Is having kids a responsibility?
Yes.
Without a doubt.
They didn't ask to be here. You forced them here.
So it's a responsibility to take care of the child?
As much as you're allowed if you're not in
Bro, if you asking these questions, bro, humanity is in trouble. Like, really? What are we doing?
But that's what we.
Hey,
that's
humanity is in trouble.
It is in trouble, but that's the perspective because you got two sides of the story. Well, three, but some moms, baby mamas tell it, and I'm on that. Where is that? It's in there. Some baby mamas say they father is a deadbeat, or he don't accept responsibility. But you ran him out the house.
Well, see, now you're going down a whole different path.
And every story is different. No, every story is different. But at the same time,
that is true. But
some fathers want to be there. Some dads want to be there.
There's so many cases of that. There's so many situations like that. Like, it's hard to determine what's real and what's fake unless you know all the facts.
And right, that's why I said it's three sides to the story. It's that person's side, and the truth. Because I know a lot of fathers. I know, and got to cut my hair. He had to fight. He had to fight to get his kid.
I'm sure he did.
And he's a good father.
How you know he a good father?
I know good. No. I know. I got a pretty decent eye for that kind of stuff. Some fathers.
Now we going off of
but
divine. What?
Yeah,
you have a good eye?
Because when you take, I got a pretty decent eye. When somebody's taking responsibility,
am I a good father? Am I a good father?
I don't know both sides of the story.
No. Answer the question. Do I look like
Calvin said? No, you're trash.
I'm gonna say yeah because
how dare
I can
you,
see
sir?
I can see how you take care of the kids in your house. If I had no evidence, here you go. I got no proof that Zoe is with the kids, take care of the kids, not responsible for the kids. I got no evidence of any financial support. I got no evidence of him trying to talk to the kid. I got no evidence of any of the source he's providing to any of these kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I got proof. I got evidence. I can see a track record. I can take an account for, okay, I know he was there doing this with this one. I know he said that. I know he was doing this, that, and the third. Okay, so the evidence speaks. I ain't got no track record for some folks. I got nothing to go off of. When last time you seen your kid? 12 years ago.
But there's a reason for that, though.
It may be. I don't know it. But at the same time, if me as a father, if I don't have a track record of being responsible, making the sacrifices, being active in their life, if I'm not consistently, however that consistency looks, involved with the child. I mean, okay. Come on, how y'all gonna say I'm a good? This will bother me, and I'm about to go.
Okay,
this will bother me. I'm a good dad, but you never there for your kid. You never talk to him. You only see him once every 2-3 years, but you a good father. What's your definition? That's sorry. I'm sorry.
I know some people like that. So,
But I understand
Hey.
that. I do too. I understand that. But that, to me, the track record don't prove that. The evidence don't show. If I'm a good father, I should have some proof from it. I should have some evidence of me being a good father. The real conversation I look for when somebody say they're a good father or a bad father, you know who I want to ask? The kid. I don't want to talk to nobody else. I really don't. I really don't care.
Well,
because let the kid tell me. I would. Yeah.
I understand.
Because even in the base, even at the baseline level, some kids know when they the problem and they want to ignore. Okay, my dad tried. Oh, because he ain't give you your way, or he trying to tell you something right in your life. Which one is it? You can tell.
I would evaluate each one on a case by case,
but
because
I really believe that.
If you you can ask the kid, but I know that for a lot of these, it's a whole lot of bad parents that the kids love their parents until they get to be an adult, and then they see their parents was trash. But now you're not asking the kids no more. You're asking the adult child.
The adult child, because they got time. You have time.
Right. So
go back and ask adult kids then.
So
I would ask because some, like you said, some don't know. Some don't know what an abusive parent is.
Well, it's because that's all they've ever had. So that's all they know is this is what parenting is.
Some don't know what a manipulative parent is, what a narcissistic parent is. They don't. Some people don't know until after the fact. So yeah.
So back to asking adults about their parents.
Yeah, I would, man. I would, because that, to me, because
when you say ask the kid,
time tells.
I'm like, so you gonna ask the 9-year-old? Like if they're not getting physically, and even in some cases, if they are, but if they're not getting physically abused, a lot of them, I don't know that they're gonna know whether or not their parent is good or bad. Dog's fighting. I think
time tells the tale.
Oh, time will always promote you or expose you.
Yeah, that's what that is. Time tells the tale. I don't have to look long. You don't gotta study hard. You know good fathers from bad fathers. Most people do.
The good, bad, and the ugly. I mean, boys, men's, and fathers.
Boys, men, and fathers. What separates them?
Well, boys shouldn't be having babies. Men should make sure that they're ready, and fathers, you already crossed that threshold. So
okay,
yeah, that part. That part.
I like it.
I do have a question for Calvin, and you got a stepkid too, Alan. So I'm gonna ask you as well. Do y'all feel appreciated as fathers?
Me? Not yet. Not yet. And the only reason I'm serious. I'm so serious about my answer. Not yet. The only reason I say not yet, because I'm waiting for my kids to have kids. So then I'll make sense to them then. What? That's what I'm no joke. Yeah, no joke.
Hold on, wait, whoa.
Because
you may still not.
Yeah, this why.
I'm asking for clarity.
Yeah, I know. All right, so this is
so then if you still don't make sense to them, then what?
No, more than likely I'll make sense to them. The reason I say that is because they have the experience of being where I was. So now they know, this is why.
They might not.
To me,
because you was homeless.
No. As a father.
You was homeless as one.
That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for when my kids have kids and they go through the challenges of having a kid and being consistent with the kid and being in the kid life. That's what I'm looking for. Those are the moments for me as a father that would tell me what kind of father I was. I don't need nobody else's opinion about it. You know why? Because I'm going to look at what I did, look at what I instilled, and then when I see it come out of my own kids, that's when I know what I did. Because that'll tell me. Then that you got your own kid, let me look and see how you respond. That let me see me. Okay, that's how I talk to you. That's how I dealt with you. I did bad right here. Oh, that's how I tried to take it. Oh, I did bad right there. Hopefully my relationships with my kids are in a good standing to where they'll listen to me and say, okay, this is where I messed up with you. This is where I messed up. This is where I got it wrong. Okay, you might want to adjust this right here. You might want to change that. So that way, they can be better fathers than I was. That's the way I live it.
I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but there are things that we are unaware of as far as what the future holds. So what if you don't have grandchildren?
If I don't, I don't. I would never know.
So if that's the
I would never know. I would never know. I won't know. That answers your question. I feel like I won't know. I won't know because for that relationship, man, to have a kid, it puts you in a different mindset. For me, it put me in a different mindset from when I was a young man, and then I had a kid. Okay, the gears changed. The gears changed. It was like, hey, all right, I have somebody else beyond me that I'm responsible for. I am responsible for. I'm going to be accountable to this individual right here. And I got to do what I got to do to make sure this individual survives and does well. At best, that's the baseline stuff I can get for him until I can improve. That was it for me. I never forget the day. I had that day of reckoning. And Caleb was about 2 years old. Like you said, I was homeless at the time. I was 2 years old, and I'm sitting on Angie's mama couch. had a job, struggling, homeless, and I'm holding my son. And he looked, boy too, and just looked at me. And it was a look like
of disgust.
No, it was a look like he was looking at me saying, "Are we gonna be all right?"
How old?
I never forget that day. It was 2. I never forget. And he looked at me. It was a look he gave me.
Bro,
it
he
was
just
like,
wanted a cookie, man. He talking about something.
It could have been. It could have been, but it impacted me to the point where all the gears in my life changed. I said, "Nah, man, I'm gonna make sure you good. I'm gonna make sure I take care of my family. I'm gonna make sure I get on my feet. I'm gonna make sure I gotta do what I gotta do to make sure my family good. I don't care about nobody else." And that from that day on, everything started changing. And from that, I never forget it. Because I said it. I said it out loud to him. I was like, "Nah, man, you all right. We gonna be all right. We gonna make it. I don't care what it look like right now. We gonna make it. Watch."
Okay.
That I never forget it. I was bad off too. Bad off.
So, Alan, will you be able to? What's your answer to the question?
I don't have an answer for it, but I'm also
okay.
I don't know that I was looking for appreciation. It wasn't like we never lived in the same house. So and at the time that he was looking at me as a father figure, I was not. I was here. He was in Texas, and so we never really got the opportunity to spend a ton of time. And then 2 years later, my wife moved here, and he was essentially an adult at that point. So there wasn't a lot of additional, and then wasn't a lot of time, and then he kind of went back to what he knew, and which was, well, it is what it is. He kind of went back to what he knew, so we ain't heard from him a lot. We have not heard from him a lot, really. We just know what's going on.
Still to this day?
Still to this day. We haven't heard from him a lot. I mean, he's been, he obviously was at the wedding, and he's been here one time since then. But then he started getting in trouble, and it just hasn't really stopped getting in trouble.
Okay.
Even though he got three kids, we've seen 2 of the 3 kids. We were down there, held them. Oh, hey, y'all need anything? Okay, great, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, we'll see y'all next time we're here.
Very formal.
Well, because when you don't live in a place, you don't even know if people are going to allow you to see what essentially would be those grandchildren. I mean, you know, you don't know if they're going to allow you to see them, because if he and her are having issues, those issues also spill over into every other relationship that's on his side. You know, on his side of the fence, so to speak. So you don't know if you're going to be given the opportunity to see those children. But we were. But I was not looking for appreciation. The only thing at that moment in time, it was just how, for me, it was just one of those things that I'm just going to care about Michael, and which was different than what he had gotten from pretty much all the other men in his life. So.
You muted. Yeah.
My bad. So, to answer the question, my own question, yes, I do feel appreciated.
Look at you.
It took me some time to get to this point, though, because I was having my own issues mentally, to where I was at a point where I couldn't see the appreciation, even though the appreciation was there. So, yeah. So, I mean, each child shows their way of appreciation. Is all not the same. Is all on different levels, but it's there. So, yeah. To answer your question, or to answer my own question, I should say. So, I wanted to talk about this. I want to be a father, but my baby mama won't let me. Why are you gonna check that off? Let's talk about it. What is that?
All right, so that's what a fathers that want to be fathers. They want to be in their kid life, but they got a baby mama who makes things hard, unreasonably hard.
Uh-huh.
I got a story. So one time, this guy, he was dealing with a female at the time, and they conceived and they had a child, and that the female was very controlling, and I guess the picture that was painted for the father was not really positive, but the father wanted to be in the child's life and wanted to share his experiences with the child, so the child could grow up to be great. And the child didn't listen, and that's the end of the story. So happy Father's Day to all those people out there.
Hold on. Okay, we should have put that in there, but we almost out of time. Just because the child don't listen don't mean the parents are bad.
I didn't say that. I just said that's the end of the story.
All right, man, I'm done.
I just left that to your own interpretation, sir.
I'm done.
But when it comes to being a father, man, I will say that a lot of the times fathers don't get the appreciation that they deserve.
Yeah.
However, as a father, that's something that I don't, it's not an expectation for the appreciation. But that's not going to stop me from doing what I need to do to make sure that they're good, to be a father.
Yeah.
So regardless if I'm appreciated or not, I'll still be the same father that was there when you needed him. I'm still the same father when you didn't want to listen and you want to do your own thing. I'm still here regardless.
Yeah.
So to the fathers who don't feel appreciated, I would definitely internalize that to you. It might be something wrong with you. I only say that because personally there was something wrong with me to where I couldn't see the appreciation that was there, even if it wasn't at the level that you wanted to be. I mean, you gotta take what you get, man, at that point. And just be thankful that you do have some connection with a child or your child whether it's stepchildren or biological, adopted, whatever. Just be appreciative of what you got and focus on what you can do to help that child to be great in life. On their, for them, not trying to put your goals and dreams, aspiration on them, but just help them figure out their own stuff. I was about to curse. Help them figure out their own stuff, man. And happy Father's Day to you. If you don't get it from them, if you don't get your flowers or whatever you want to get for Father's Day, so what? Suck it up. I don't care. Just do what you're supposed to do as a father, man. And it's saying, like, if you don't get the flowers and the candies and all that, it shouldn't matter at this. It shouldn't matter. And for us to be comparing Father's Day to Mother's Day, to me personally, like I said, I told you in the beginning, if you're not doing it like year round, if it's just a one-day thing, then you might want to get some help. You got problems. Anyway, that's all I got, man, because I can keep going.
I got nothing. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, man, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. That's it.
Happy Father's Day. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, shout out to you bums out there, too. Get your stuff together.
Jeez.
Be a father. Man up.